Welcome back to Windows Update Daily, where Windows updates continue to wreak havoc on this entire podcast setup.
Brad, are we going to have a guest appearance from your wife on this episode?
She's right around the corner. It is Veterans Day, after all. It is Veterans Day. But before my wife starts screaming at me, here's a quick message from our sponsors over at Smart Deploy. Smart Deploy allows IT departments to re-image unlimited computer models from one golden image. Search their library for your models and grab your exclusive free licenses at smartdeploy.com/therot. Everything is going swimming today in my neighborhood. I'm assuming the audio will be peaking after all this and just...
Right.
It's But the good news is here, Paul, that according to the interwebs, starting in 2020 and in 2021 and in 2022 and now also 2023, Apple will be releasing AR and VR glasses. It's we're getting like
very exciting.
Five different pairs are coming every year from here on out for eternity.
Yeah, we are all waiting for them to invent this market.
Mm-hmm. So, you can be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
How you doing this Monday, Paul? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
You seem like you're on the struggle bus, as we would call it in our house.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because of Ignite. I didn't work out for like a week, so I'm like silently dying inside as I try to get back up to speed with that. I did do some very minor home/smart home stuff over the weekend.
Well,
did some stereo pairing.
Did you run your Ethernet cable?
No, I didn't. No, but I did take the first step toward that because kind of like directly where I'm looking is the wall, on the other side of which is the entertainment system, which consists of a TV and a desk or a table or whatever. Mm-hmm. That is now empty because one of the things I wanted to do was really kind of clean up the area back there because it's just this rat's nest of unnecessary and disconnected cables and whatever. I've got like an Xbox, or I used to have an Xbox in there that wasn't being used, and and other stuff. So I kind of just pulled the desk away from the table, regarded this disgusting mess of cables, cut it back as much as I could, and then identified the place where this Ethernet cable is going to have to go. Because the one thing that we did do that's going to help me here is when I don't remember at what point, whatever point we had the cable company come in and put the cable modem, and at the time the cable receiver in that room that's right over there. So they had to run something under the floor, and they actually did the work of creating like a wall hole, whatever you call that, where you put the port for the coaxial cable. So I'm going to try to double up on that whenever I do this. Rather than do a second one, like I would just screw it up anyway. I'm sure it's not. Well, I shouldn't be sure, but I assume it's mounted to a 2x4 or whatever in the wall correctly. But actually, that's crazy. Of course, it's not.
No,
it's not an electrical box. No, it's probably just sitting there in the middle. Yeah. So, as I said, that I realized how wrong that was. Well, whatever. Something like Ethernet, you could probably just put it anywhere. Mm-hmm. I suppose that's something I could do if I had to. But how like the quality work I'll do. It's like it'll be like half an inch short, off or whatever.
Yeah, you can put it anywhere. Like
I didn't do any of the work toward the Ethernet. I just looked at it, I think is what I'm trying to say.
That is the mind mapping is
facing your fear is the first step.
It is. It's the important first step. What they do sell, which may be of some interest to you, are you putting a full new box in the wall?
Well, that's the question, right?
Well, they sell retrofit boxes, as I'm looking at a shelving unit that might have just broken.
What would be ideal, by the way, would be a box that had coax and Ethernet, like one of each. Right, I know.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm thinking, so they sell retrofit boxes, which is just a blue box that you can buy at Home Depot. Mm-hmm. And so you just cut the hole out in the drywall. Yep. And then there's little fins that you turn with a screwdriver that will go up and down to keep it from...
So you can actually just make it fit in the hole that you created.
Yes. Well, so there's fins that would stick out beyond the box. So that way, if you pull on the box, it doesn't come out of the drywall.
It holds it on the hole or whatever.
And that's probably, just blind here, trying to figure out what you're doing. is what you're going to want. And then the question is what
Yeah.
kind of, you should be able to find something like that, I would think.
I would think so. I'll go look, but
Yeah.
whatever. If I have to put a second one back there, it's fine.
Yeah,
But like I said, it's going to be off. I can guarantee it's going to be off.
yeah, that's,
Yep. And then, it will be behind something, so I won't have to deal with looking at it and, seeing my failure every single day.
no, that's,
Like when you have kids.
that's reserved for the mirror.
Yeah.
Like,
I
right.
don't know,
You
it's
just
just,
go in and look at it and it's like, yeah, I'm still me. And that's unfortunate.
that's like, we had my brother-in-law and my sister over this past weekend, and their daughter was here, and my daughter and their daughter were building these stools that we had bought for the kitchen, and their daughter had a really hard time understanding clockwise versus counterclockwise, and he literally had to come up with this phrase, like something like righty is right and lefty is something, and she could not get it right, and I was like, she is 50% both of you guys. It's just like, just saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did some minor work around the house this week. Let's say I tied up a bunch of the electrical that I'm literally looking at as I'm saying that. Like take there's just like a little plastic bridge and then 2 nails, and then you just tack it into a board and make it nice and neat. I ran what I think, knock on wood, will be the last can light, and I removed the one that used to be right here that created a really bad lighting here. I've got to get one more light in here because see this dark shadow that drives me nuts.
Yeah,
that's an easy fix, he says optimistically. Get rid of
What
that.
about doing some lighting in here? Maybe some uplighting from the floor kind of thing.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. So, what you can't see right over here where the server cabinet is, I can put a light, I think, like pointed off the back here that should go behind my back that should get the photons where the photons need to be. Yeah, and then tomorrow should be maybe interesting because are we going to get the Windows fall update tomorrow? Or are we not?
Yeah, I believe so. I think tomorrow's got to be the beginning of it. Doesn't mean we're going to get it. It just
Right.
means this will almost certainly be the date. It has to be. Has to be.
I mean, it could technically they were on the Azure release schedule, which is December.
No, but they literally have referred to this as the November update.
Paul, let's just pretend that there's not a really large precedence here of naming something a month and then shipping it like several
Fair enough.
months later. I think it would probably be more accurate if it did ship in December than in November. So we'll be on the lookout for that. I'll be curious
I
to
don't know.
see
It's been super quiet on this front.
Yeah.
That tells me they're, it's not like we've gotten a 0.001 update any, time soon, anytime recently.
I mean, there's nothing better than a large Windows update surprise. As I was greeted this morning, which apparently I don't know why a patch installed over the weekend, but it did. And then the audio stack just went,
Yeah, of course it did.
which it always does.
Oh, do you need this for Skype? Yeah, it's broken now.
Well, I wish it was just that easy because the way the audio all gets routed is, I don't even think I understand it, to be honest. I think I just kind of guess and check until this whole thing works. So if the audio doesn't work this episode,
You can just enjoy. I hope you can lip read.
yeah.
Of course, what you will miss if it happens is the exciting addition of Brad's wife to the podcast.
Yeah, because your audio is definitely being recorded. I can see that from here. The problem is that I really need another monitor to like monitor the audio coming in, but
Right.
I've only got 2, and so you're on one, and then I can look at the other one and see what we're actually recording, like the video feeds.
Do you give a separate channel to your wife, like a third channel?
Well, it would just be commentary of her being, "You're such a jerk." Like that's all you would hear, like every.
It's kind of far off to the left to give you the effect of her around the corner not being happy with both of us.
Why is she wielding a bat? Like, is there a crowbar out there?
You like this TV, right?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
if we come back
This is
tomorrow,
what it's
and
like when something you like is broken.
if there's just like a large break spot, like right here,
Yeah, with a
and
bat hanging out of it.
just-
Just leave it there. It's like Scarface was in here.
yeah, this would be a good desk for Scarface. So Good old desk. Well, it is Veterans Day after all, so happy Veterans Day. Oh, you know what's launching this week that I am excited about, Paul, is the Disney thing. I think it's tomorrow, the 12th.
Yep. I have to sign up. I still haven't signed up for that. Do you know, could you like get the app now or whatever and get it ready so you can just use it? Or
I don't know if this is like Call of Duty, Paul, where you can preload this thing.
Well, they did it for Stadia.
Yeah, that is true.
You know,
when is that shipping? Isn't it the 19th or something?
somewhere in the second half. I just looked at my order because I pre-ordered the Founders Edition, which I think you did too, right? And mine says like 22nd to 23rd or whatever, which doesn't seem right. But it's not
it's
this
like
week.
Almost Founders Edition. It's sort of like
Yeah. It's like it's the 2 days after Founders Edition. It's what I'm used to. It's like after everyone else gets it, I get to.
I think they call it the Day 3 edition.
Yeah, right? The Thurrott Edition. It's just slightly late to the game.
I hope the latency is better in the gaming than it is with the shipping of the controller. So, cool. You got anything else for today, Paul?
No, I have the tip up today. I think it would be useful for people if you did not make Ignite. If you did go to Ignite, you want to check out the videos of all the sessions and keynotes.
Yep.
Microsoft has a website for that. I think I said on Windows Weekly last week, like more than once, that this would be available on channel9.com. That's not the correct address.
Of course not.
Sorry about that. But it is on a site whose name I can't remember now. So that's kind of useful. And I also, if you're interested in the Google Home stereo pair thing, I wrote that up as well. It's super easy, but it has made, like, these speakers are useless, basically. I really don't talk to them that much. I use them as Chromecast devices a lot. And now that you can do stereo pairing, all of a sudden, like, they're more useful. Not for talking. I'm still not going to talk to them, but you know, I had like a Google Home Mini sitting out in the living room. We never used it. It only came on by mistake. But now it can be part of a whole house audio thing. And honestly, even the Mini, but especially the normal, you know, the can of soup sized Google Home, surprisingly good sound quality, by the way.
Good to know.
Not bad. Not bad.
Good to know. Well, there we go. Well, tomorrow should be interesting. Maybe a Windows update, maybe some Disney stuff. Definitely a lot more than probably what's happening today, because most people, well, not most people. You work at a bank or potentially a school, I should say. You're off.
So is your daughter in school today?
She is, but my wife is not.
By this. Yeah, so like in Massachusetts, because we got every single holiday known to God. I think they had some Aztec holidays on the calendar. My understanding is that like Veterans Day is a federal holiday, right? So like that school should be off on that day, I would think. I mean, normally my complaint about school being off is the opposite. There's too many days off, but like these just federal holidays. I mean, it seems like those should be off from school, but they're in school.
Yep.
So I don't know. Yeah, I was confused by that.
Anyways, folks, that wraps it up for today. Make sure to check out those Smart Deploy links below. Grab your offer, an exclusive offer, actually, at smartdeploy.com/Thurrott. And we should be back here tomorrow seeing what's happening in the technology neighborhood.